Hello, welcome to Monday Morning Matters live broadcast show brought to you by Magnicraft Consulting Team, anchored by Niyi, Dunmade, a certified church consultant with the Society for Church Consulting in the U.S. Here, each Monday of every week, we address important, relevant, and actionable topics of interest that will help you and your church grow healthier. And now, meet your host, Niyi, Dunmade.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Apologies for the late transmission of today's live broadcast show. I'm so glad to be part of this live broadcast show. Thank you for hooking up with us on Monday Morning Matters. It's been challenging trying to get online, and so I want to just welcome everyone to this live broadcast show and those who are watching the repeat. My name is Niyi Dunmade. I'm the founder and the CEO of Magnicraft Consulting. Founder and CEO of Magnicraft Consulting. Magnicraft Consulting is a church consulting firm that helps local churches to grow healthier through empirical assessment, training, and strategic blueprint. Okay, and so we help local churches to grow healthier through assessment, through trainings, and through revitalization. I hope the sound is good. Just let me know that the sound is good as I'm going, because I had quite some challenges. The sound is good. Okay, that's fine. And so I've reduced the background noise. My name is Niyi Dunmade, founder, CEO, Magnicraft Consulting. Magnicraft Consulting. Magnicraft Consulting is a church consulting firm that helps local churches to grow healthier through empirical assessment, trainings, and strategic blueprint. Okay, we started part 1 and 2 of this series, the church issues leaders need to address today. We started with part 1, part 2. We had quite a lot of hiccups in a church in Nigeria, but you see, Monday Morning Matters is here to talk about relevant issues. And so we want to welcome all of you in our YouTube channel, in our Facebook page. We want to welcome you. Thank you for always interacting with us, commenting, sharing, liking our posts. I'm a certified church consultant with the Society for Church Consulting in the U.S. I'm also the lead and CEO, founder, lead consultant of Magnicraft Consulting. So let's go into the 3 things that we need to look at. In our world today, we have moved from gradualism to urgency because of the state our world is today. There's COVID-19, there's complexities, there's lack of conformity, there's ambiguity, there's Ukraine and Russian war, which is causing a lot of economic and inflation rates to rise and to be so hard on people. And so we started last week, Monday, on moving outwardly, deliberately from inward focusedness to outward focusedness, okay? And that's with the aid of the knowledge you've gotten from community analysis. And so today we're going to look at the second one, which is having a biblical and healthy governance structure. In the Act of Apostles, we had elders, we had a biblical and healthy governance structure. And so we're going to look at some of these things in terms of church governance. You get what you structure for. The most recurrent issues in the church today in terms of ministry and faith-based organization has to do with accountability, has to do with clarity, okay, how decisions are made, how major things in the church are actually addressed. How do you achieve consensus in the church? In Act chapter 6 and in Act chapter 15, we could see that there was consensus in the church. Everybody agreed on one decision. How can the church facilitate a shift from the current realities to the preferred future, to the desired future that the church has? So we have also issues of conflict. We have also issue of management. We have issues of discipline in the church, and also revitalization, and most of these issues can only be addressed when there is a good and a biblical and healthy governance structure in the church. In fact, when you have issues of problematic leadership, you could see that the reason why we have a less result in some of the things we do is because of the capacity of the leadership we have in, and that also links up with the church governance of any church. So one of the things I will just say quickly is that I've noticed that pilots don't just like even driving a motorcyclist might not have the skills to drive a truck. So the same thing with planes. Someone who is driving a jet cannot fly Boeing 737 or Boeing 787. Okay, they all have their capacity in terms of their leadership, in their pilot leadership. And so, as you are the leader of that church, do you have the leadership qualities? Do you have the healthy and biblical board or church governance to be able to drive that church? Do you have the required skills in terms of board, connecting with God to drive that church? Board requires a lot of skills, and sometimes there can be a hiccup, a lead, or a principality to the good things that God wants to do in your church. How can a church also be fruitful and productive? Okay, sustainably in terms of in terms of result, without key decision makers giving necessary contributions, giving necessary ownership or tools to their effectiveness and efficiency. So we need to be aware as leaders. We need to be aware of formal structures and informal structures in our churches. You know, sometimes some people feel that because you have appointed a certain person in a position, you have a structure in your church. There is a kind of structureless structure that is always within and around the structure that you have set for your church. So that also need to be put in place when you are trying to set up a direction. Put at the back of your mind that there are formal and informal structure. And if you have a very good formal structure and there is no awareness, and you don't look at the effects of the informal structure that exists in your church, it can cripple the kind of good things that may happen in your church. So setting up the direction also that the church governance helps the church has to do with determining the mission and the purpose of the church or the program or the service, ensuring effective planning. Okay, what the church governance entail in terms of providing oversight. Okay, you know, when you are looking at things from a bird eye view, is actually different when you are rolling up the sleeves and doing certain things from the grassroots. So when you have that oversight, you have to strengthen some areas that requires straightening up. Okay, in terms of program and services of the church or ministry. We also need to have a kind of financial review or provide assets. Okay, because sometimes to be able to run your church, you need resources, you need some assets to be able to stay liquid in terms of impact in the community. Also in terms of ensuring legal and ethical integrity. You see, one of the things I will say quickly in the side of the world I live in, most churches don't. There are a lot of churches that have not registered in CAC. There are some churches that have not had annual returns to the Corporate Affairs Commission in our country. And you see, sometimes when you are binding the devil, you have to be sure that you have actually make sure that there's no disobedience at all in how you are running your organization. You can't be disobedient to the laws of the land where your church is located, and you expect corporate governance to be effective in your church. So you look at the legals in that. You can't be enforcing the law or enforcing the scriptures and your hands are not straightened, or you're not coming with clean hands. So ethical integrity in terms of governance structure is very, very important. It's very, very important. We also need to support and evaluate programs and leadership that makes your church governance to be effective and efficient. You see, when you have a very healthy and biblical structure, a lot of things is going to take place. A lot of good things is going to take place. So when you put those things in place, what happens? There are four things I will say quickly, and I'll round up from this live broadcast. When you have those things, it saves you a lot of time. Okay, a lot of time in terms of implementation. You see, when you have a healthy and biblical church structure, from decision to implementation, it shortens that gap. Okay, but when you don't have a healthy one, when you take a decision, it actually takes a long time before you begin to see the fruit of those decisions and things like that. What happened in Acts chapter 6, when there was restructuring, there was they brought up leaders on board, and the 12 apostles majored on the core driving decision process of the church. You could see that there was a result that happened quickly in the church. So when you put a healthy and corporate, a healthy and biblical church governance in place, it saves you a lot of time. The things that you are supposed to do in 10 years, you can do it 10 months. The things you're supposed to do in 7 years, you can do it in 7 months. Okay, you could be, because the decision and the tools and the power, the equipment that you need as a church, they are actually they're actually there to help your church move from where it is right now to where it is. Then also, when you have a proper organization and proper healthy and biblical structure, it eliminates friction. It eliminates friction when you know that the pastor is submissive to the board. The board is submissive to the congregation. The congregation is submissive to whatever the structure you have, that spell out the church governance structure that you want to project. It eliminates friction in the sense that everybody knows what they need to do. Okay, it's there will be friction, no doubt, but the friction will be that it is just what is needed for us to make movement. You see, when you don't have friction, there's no how you can make some movement. Our feet, when there's no friction, we can't just make progress. So there's need for some friction for us to make some progress. But when you are now having friction to the point whereby there's a lot of heat, then you need to begin to look at the structure, the governance structure, to see how you can eliminate some of those friction, putting people where it matters, putting people where their strength will be maximized, and then putting people where they best fit in your organization, in your church as a whole. The third one has to do with avoiding waste of human and material resources. When you have a healthy and biblical church governance, it makes the church to avoid wasting human resource, wasting non-human resource or material resources. Okay, you'll be able to see how to maximize the potentials that church is having. You see, one of the things is, once you have the good church governance in place, it makes sure that all the resources that God has blessed you with, it has a way of bringing to pass the maximum results from all those things you're going to have. And I'm going to give you two more. Okay, one has to do with avoiding or reducing worry. You see, because you have great minds behind you as boards, you have great minds behind you who are actually checkmating, who are looking at potential areas of improvement. Then you don't have to worry. It makes you to avoid worry. It makes you to reduce worry, because the structure itself will take care of certain things that are out of the systemic process that the church needs to adhere to. Okay, so when you have proper organization in place, you have good corporate governance, church governance in place that is biblical and healthy, it avoids and reduces completely worry, anxiety. Okay, it also fatigue and burnout. The last one I'm going to say is avoid also role conflicts, role frictions, through accurate definition of authority and responsibility. You see, I've mentioned that one of the reasons why people are not so happy with the church, because they don't see clear accountability. They see high responsibility, but they don't see also commensurate accountability to the people that you are leading. And you need to make sure that there's some form of clear-cut, accurate definition of authority, accountability, and responsibility. From church governance down to the workers in your church, that everything is actually, there is an accurate definition of the roles everyone is taking place. The people in the board should not be doing the church work of the pastor. The work of the pastor should not be the pastor should not be doing the work of the boards. The congregation should not be doing the work of the board. So there should be proper and accurate definition of roles, so that you'll be able to avoid conflicts. You're going to avoid a conflict that will bring about a negative impact to your church as a whole. I need to wrap up here quickly. If you have any church related questions on some of the things you have been discussing in Monday Morning Matters, please let us know. Let us see how. Go on our social media handles, scrolling on the screen. Let us see how we can help you. We can provide answers to your questions, and we can bring more resources to you, and more than just answering your questions, to help you with the relevant information that you need to move forward. Okay, please, this video has been helpful to you. Give us a like, do us a share to your community, just drop us a comment. You've learned from me in a little minutes, few minutes I've shared with you. I also want to learn from you. I want to hear from you. Wherever you are from the all over the world, I want to hear from you. So drop me a comment in the comment section. I'm sure going to respond to you. Okay, whatever question, go in the comment section and let's see how we can interact and continue conversations from this. We do also consultations, we do revitalizations, we do trainings and strategic planning. Reach out to us so we can help your church move from where it is. We do trainings for leaders, we do trainings for church leaders, staff, workers, volunteers, and also workforce, to make sure that they increase their capacity to be able to bring up to pass the kind of growth that your church will require. Till I come your way next week Monday with the last lap of the things that you need to address today as church leaders. Till I come your way, I say bye-bye and God bless you. Have a blessed week.
Church consultation? Wow, most definitely yes. Just as you should see your primary care physician once a year, you should have a church consultation once a year. Churches are organisms that change, age, they have health concerns, and in some cases, die. Church consultations help you stay strong and healthy. It helps you avoid the painful and unhealthy changes that occur over time. Church consultants know where to look, the question to ask, and will provide appropriate solutions for health issues. Magnicraft Consulting helps you lead from your strengths, assist you in identifying and improving your weaknesses, examine all ministry areas for strength, weaknesses, opportunities, including potential threats, provide you with honest feedback, diagnosis, analysis, and actionable solutions. If you want to know more, call us and we'll sit down with you and bring out our ministry stethoscope. Check out our services at our website, www.magnicraftconsulting.com. Get the right and appropriate diagnosis, prescriptions, and services from a certified church consultant. Contact us now on 0802-324-2258. Email contact@magnicraftconsulting.com, magnicraftconsulting@gmail.com, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram @Magnicraft Limited. Magnicraft Consulting, doing church God's way.